Folks, we're live backstage here at the Warfield Theater in San Francisco. Sitting here with Kevin Key from Skinny Puppy. They're set to go on tonight, later on tonight. And these guys are probably one of the hardest working bands that I know of. They are in the final stages of their North American tour, and I know they're anxious to get back home. They'll be doing their final show in Vancouver, which is a couple days away, but that'll be coming up. But tonight they're in San Francisco, and we're looking forward to their show. What is Two Dark Park about?
Two Dark Park was a regrouping of the sort of original incentives which we had around at the beginning of the band's inception. It was the processes and the directions were largely a return to a Skinny Puppy process versus what we had sort of experienced through Rabies, and a sort of a disattached feeling to with the music we were making. We were sort of became at a distance to it, and so Two Dark Park is more like a cleansing of the soul and a return to a pure sort of condition for Skinny Puppy. And the whole concept behind it was when we started writing the songs that we started with were some of the most heaviest ones on the album, like Convulsion and stuff like that. And we thought like the songs were really dark when we first started doing it, and so we came up with a little Two Dark Park, a little rhyming on words thing.
I just slipped down these damn stairs.
Tormentor was the first single. What's going to be the next single off the album?
Well, we're going to do a reworking of Spasmolytic and a remix of another song off the album, possibly Shoreline Poison. And then we're going to try and put together some live recordings that we've been doing on this tour for the B-side. Going to make it like a 4-song thing.
Would you mind just giving us your stance on current problems with animal rights being stepped on and stuff like that?
Well, for me, myself personally, I mean, I'm fully against the deprivation testing on animals, the sleep deprivation, the love deprivation, everything. They have a lot of tests that are completely at the will of the life of the animal, and this is largely what I'm personally against. There's a lot of testing going on that is like pushing forth the medical world as far as AIDS and medicine and cancer is concerned, and there has been some fair testing and some unfair testing. It's up to largely the world and the individuals involved to question whether the validity of their tests is something that the world can deal with. My stance is I love animals, and if I knew about any testing going on, I'd go in there and unlock the cages and try and let them out if I could. Unfortunately, they keep these things so secret that we have to know that it's going on out there, and not just sort of put it out of our systems.
What does Puppy stand for? What does it stand against? Is that too big a question?
No, I think
institutional question.
I think Puppy just sort of stands up for itself in the sense of accomplishing what these particular individuals feel inside them they need to accomplish. It's largely something that's pushing us into this. It's not something that we're being forced to do, but it's largely something within us that is telling us to do what we're doing, and we find that, you know, there isn't really anything else for us but to do what we're sort of felt we should be doing. You know what I mean? It's not something that's being forced out of us. It's not something that's so full of work and effort to accomplish. It's something that if we try and do something other than what we're doing now, then that's work and effort. I mean, this is something that's us, and this is where we fit in, whether it's art or whether it's music or whether it's something in the middle. You know, we don't quite define it as much. It's just we've been able to survive doing what we do, and I think that that's how we retain our sanity, if we actually have retained that.
What's in the near future, in the far future for Skinny Puppy?
I really can't say. It's day by day. You know, this band could be here tomorrow. It could not be, and whether or not it is or isn't, we'll continue to make music and do what we do. I'd like to see us going into the studio to do a follow-up album this year to Too Dark Bark and a follow-up tour. The system doesn't allow it to be so straightforward, unfortunately. I'd like it to be more straightforward, but it's not, so we'll soon see. Hello, this is Kevin Key in San Francisco, and you're listening to Post. Let's hope you're watching it, too.